Hi, I'm Andy Schmuckler, and uh, going to talk about when people lack reason. I've been trying to understand uh, things like I observe in America for a while. Which one way of putting it, what I've observed is that I've seen intelligent people um, believe the unbelievable in the context of their politics, and I just sort of look at it and I just wonder, what's happening when somebody who, in some other situation, had to uh, have the intelligence to grasp something as obvious as whether the election was stolen, for example, or whether Trump is actually guilty of crimes, if they've been paying any close attention, which I certainly have. I mean, it's just obvious if you've got the least bit of intelligence, you know. Yet these intelligent people that you would, you know, deal with in some kind of a business transaction and find them on top of things pretty well, just will believe things that are unbelievable. How does that happen? Um, anyway, I've wondered about it, uh, but evidence is abundant that a belief is false. A person reason uh, should lead them to believe something else, but they stay stuck with obvious lies. Not sure how that happens, and I still, but I did run across something recently that added a piece uh, to the picture. It was an article by some social science woman of a decade ago, um, talking about when people hold contradictory beliefs. Uh, Here's a quote. The more participants believed that Princess Diana faked her own death, the more they believed that she was murdered. The more participants believed that Osama bin Laden was already dead when the U.S. Special Forces raided his compound in Pakistan, the more they believed he is still alive. And another example, believing both that COVID is a hoax and it is a Chinese bioweapon. People believing both of these things simultaneously, which if you had reason going on, you couldn't rest with that contradiction. You might not feel sure which it is, but you wouldn't hold them simultaneously. And you'd be activated to find out, and you get evidence. But anyway, the reason seems to be disabled. And the woman who wrote this article indicates that there's a level that they both point to, like we are innocent and they are evil. Anything that supports that, whether they oppose or not, that is what they point toward. Um, uh, the only thing that Trump ultimately believes is that he is always the victim. He is always innocent. In other words, not to ask, really, does Trump actually believe that the 2020 election was stolen from him, or is he just a pathological liar? The answer, she says, isn't really one or the other. And so it's got me wondering, is it that people can latch on to beliefs in some general way because they are affirming something important to them, even if they don't, if the belief itself doesn't make any sense. So the emotional commitment to, say, Trump would be sufficient to override the evidence that what Trump's saying is a lie. So maybe that's it. a good friend of mine to whom I had forwarded that stuff said that an alternative, or maybe the other side of a similar phenomenon, is that it's got to do with anxiety. I think I might prefer to use the word fear. The idea would be that when we are in a state of fear of some kind, our inborn nervous system engages at the more fundamental level that preceded human reason. What our ancestors of 1 million, 5 million, 10 million years ago did, and in terms of having a response to some fearful situation, that maybe gets us fully engaged in that level of our and not so much at the neocortex that has come along since then and has gradually led us into being what a piece of work is man, how noble in reason, from Hamlet. That maybe this is the idea that you can hold contradictory ideas is because there's too much fear for contradiction to be noticed, because reason has been sort of turned off and drowned out and such by the more primitive, powerful, deeply ingrained response to fear that we've brought back from way further back in generations than our capacity for reason. So I don't know. I just both of these ideas sort of have some appeal. How much fear is there out there among my neighbors who are voting for Trump? Do they, for example, really believe when Trump points to American carnage as if we're living in some dystopian, crime-ridden urban areas? I mean, are they really feeling that way? I don't know. I live here, but if people are afraid like that, I'm not picking up on it. So I don't really know what goes on um, that reason seems to be dead or unengaged. I mean, reason really exposes what it is that they're supporting. I mean, there's nothing secret here. There's nothing hidden anymore about the Republicans and Trump and the whole fascist threat to the American constitutional order. There's nothing secret about it at all. It's right there in front of us. So maybe we can stop there. Thank you.